Hello and welcome to this video tutorial for the Space Combat Kit for Unity, where I'll be showing you how to set up vehicle input in your game. Now I've got a simple scene here with the player and a space fighter, and you can see that I've added the space fighter to the starting vehicle field on the player's game agent component. So when the scene starts, the player will enter this space fighter. And I've also got a couple of scene components here. They're not necessary, but not having them will create a couple of warnings that are distracting. Just letting you know that certain things won't work. So let's get into it. What we want to do is have a look at the input scripts that we've added for the player. Now the first thing you'll notice is that there's a bunch of different input scripts for different kinds of vehicles. We've got some for the character, spaceship, space fighter, capital ship. We've got some for the menu and a bunch of general vehicle controls. Now, importantly, you'll notice that these input scripts are broken up by a function rather than by vehicle. And what this is about is that you can create input scripts for different parts of a vehicle, and then any vehicle that you control that has that functionality, you can use that input script for. So this enables you to share input scripts between different vehicles, basically save yourself from having to rewrite code. Now, one important thing to realize about how the input works in this kit is that every input script must extend the vehicle input base class. Now, all of these input scripts that we've got here, they all extend the vehicle input base class. So let's take a look at what the vehicle input class is. So just going through it quickly, you'll see there's a function to start the input, which means that if the input is ready to run, if it's initialized, it will start running. You can stop the input if it's running. So if, for example, if you want to take control of the vehicle and pause the input, for example, docking with a space station or something like that, you can just stop and start the input as you need. So below that, we've got a set vehicle. Now, what happens is that, let's go back to the editor. When the game agent, when the player or AI enters a vehicle, it will look through all of the vehicle input scripts in its hierarchy and try to activate them. So if the script is compatible with the vehicle, it will start running, and if it's not, it will not start. But what it does is it basically passes the vehicle reference to the vehicle input script, which you'll see here. It's in set vehicle. And what you'll see is that this function calls the initialize function. Now what this function does is it takes a look at the vehicle and checks if the vehicle is compatible with the input script. So if the vehicle has all the components that this script needs to send input to, it will check that here. Now when you're extending this script with your own input scripts, you override this function to check if the vehicle is compatible with your input, so if it has the right components. And then below that, we've got the input update function, which is where you run all your input code, where you check for input and pass it to the various components of the vehicle. And that's called every frame when the input script is running. So let's take a quick look at one of these input scripts. We're not going to go into any detail about what this input script does specifically, because that's something we'll cover in a different video. This is just breaking down how input works generally in this kit. But let's take a look at these settings at the top. These are the vehicle input base class settings, which every vehicle input script will have. So you can set the starting vehicle here. Just in case you're not using game agents for any reason, you can drag the vehicle straight in there, and when the scene starts, it will start sending input to the vehicle straight away. Below that, you can specify the compatible game states for this vehicle input script. So the game states are managed by the game state manager, which is something we'll cover in a different video, but it basically lets you create different states for your game and control how the game plays out in different states. And when you've checked that, you can set the compatible game states. We've got gameplay, so we want this script to run when the game is playing, and there's a bunch of other states that you can set this input script to run in. Below that, you can specify the compatible vehicle classes for this input script. So, for example, if you have two vehicles that both have the functionality that this input script requires, but you, for any reason, want to run them differently. For example, the capital ship and the space fighter both have the same engines component, but we want them to be controlled differently. Then we can set the compatible vehicle classes for this input script. So this is compatible only with the space fighter and not the capital ship. And you can select which vehicles you'd like this input script to work with. Now, below that, there's a bunch of settings for the space fighter controls, which we'll go into in some other video. But what I'd like to show you here is the custom input class, which you can see here. So this kit includes a controls menu with the ability to show the different controls that are in the game. Where you can group the controls and you can show what the action is for this particular control. So what you can do is also set the input type. We've got axis here because this is for controlling the pitch of the space fighter. So we can select axis, we can set mouse button or key. But what this enables you to do is basically set all your controls in the inspector without having to go and rewrite code in scripts. This setting here for get axis raw just enables you to get the axis value even when the timescale is 0, when the game is paused. And then you've got the axis, you've got the mouse button, and you've got the key. This custom input is used throughout the vehicle input scripts. But just on this note, I'd like to show you another script, which is the custom vehicle input script. Now, what this enables you to do is a link input to events in your game without writing any code. So you'll see the vehicle input settings here, which we already covered. And underneath, you've got these input event items. And you can create a custom input, so a key, mouse button, or axis. And then you can call events for when the input is down, when it's first pressed, when it's up, when you release the input, and code every frame for the axis value. So for example, if we'd like the camera view to change to interior view when we press the 1 key, what we would do is, let's quickly add a vehicle camera to the camera. And then what we can do is go to this event here when the input is down, when it's pressed, add an event, drag the camera object in there, select the vehicle camera, and select set view, which is an integer. So 0 in this case is interior view. It's an enum, so it's stored by index. So it's as easy as that to set up input in your game. As long as the functionality you want to call is called by function, you can just add it to an event here. So that pretty much does it for the input. I'll just quickly show you how the AI vehicle input works. We'll go into more detail on the AI in a different video, but what I want to show you is that it works pretty much the same way. So we'll add a game agent component, which is the same for the player or the AI. We'll call that AI. It's not the player. And we add the vehicle input for the AI in the same way that we add it to the player. Except that in your vehicle input scripts for the AI, you wouldn't look for input from the keyboard or anything else. You would just write the code that you want to run every frame for the AI. So just to give you a quick example, let's create a new game object and call it behavior selector. And we'll add a behavior selector script. And you'll see this is a vehicle input script too for the AI. And what it does is it has a list of behaviors, and so it looks through the list, and the first one that is ready to run will run, and then it will go to the next frame and start over again. So we'll go into more detail on that in a different video, but you can see that the vehicle input works the same way for the AI and the player. It's just the specific input code that's different. So that pretty much does it for the breakdown of how the input works in this kit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a different video.